Hello and welcome to Pod Save the Queen, the show on the Elsiners Network where I, Gregor, talk about TV shows from the UK. Now, let's get started with the Christmas specials. Now, I know I've been talking about, if you've been watching a lot of the shows, um, I have been talking about doing this show, and through that time, they have aired their Christmas special. They have done Christmas specials, which is one of the reasons why I like the British sense of Christmas than I do the American. And not necessarily in general, but just when it comes to TV. Because America, we have this thing where we will air the Christmas episode sometimes the day after Thanksgiving, or especially that week after Thanksgiving. Which I get, Thanksgiving here is an American holiday, but whatever. It's like, end of November, early December, boom, the TV network, the TV shows are already playing their Christmas episodes. I don't really like that, because then it's like you air them there and then you have this month break where there's nothing on and you're like, oh gosh, TV is so boring right now. But over in the UK, they do it completely different. They do it where you have the Christmas specials. You have, like, your Doctor Who Christmas special, or your Mock the Week Christmas special, which, yes, granted, it is a clip show with some unseen bits, but still, it's funny stuff. Or but it's like, it's sure like that. Like, I love it. So here's I'm going to talk about some of the shows that I really loved over the Christmas break. The first one is one that I actually just started getting into this past, like, maybe 6 months ago. And that's very, actually no, like, probably about 4 months ago, actually, now I'm thinking about it. And that is The Last Leg of the Year. And that was the last leg, but they did their last leg of the year on my birthday, January 2nd. Which, hey, is it okay that I watched that? Yes. They incorporate Twitter with the hashtag, is it okay? And this is when I actually got into during the UK's Stand Up to Cancer. I think I'd seen one episode before, and I was just like, oh, hey, this is an interesting show. But then I realized that Channel 4, where I watched this from, only has the first series. And they've done 4 seasons. They had done 4 seasons since then. So it's like, you can't really watch. You're sort of newsrooming yourself here. Trying to get that as a verb. Where you watch the shows as you're watching the show about news and events that happened 2-3 years ago. And so it's like, I couldn't do it. But I love the newsroom. Yeah, it's not right there. But no, so they did their of the year thing, and it was just great. I loved the fact that here we have Adam Hills, who was one of the hosts and very funny stand-up comedian. He talked about they all nominated their jerk of the year, and he's like, I got 2. A pedophile, as he said, he's like, and this dude who ruined the song for him, this one song for him. It's like a children's song. And then this other lady who basically is an internet troll. And like, full stop, end of sentence. And he's doing this little monologue to her, saying basically, you should not enjoy this. He hopes that her New Year's resolution is to quit being a dick, and stuff like that. And I fully loved it. They had Richard Iowati on there from the IT crowd throughout the whole episode, which actually, and it was just great. And that actually leads me to my second favorite show, also from Channel 4, and that's Gadget Man. They did their Christmas special, and the show is brilliant. And this is one of those shows, I will mention this, where it's like, oh, this show would do great over here in America. This show would be great. But I understand why it hasn't really been done, because it's hard to do with, like, a show where you're focusing on gadgets and stuff like that, and different things. But it's one of those shows where I do think it would fit on pretty much any network throughout all of cable, not just like CBS, NBC, Fox, and all those. But they had a lot of great guests. Robert Webb, Adam Hills was on there with Stephen Merchant, and they were showing off all these little gadgets that you would use around Christmas time. And I'm sitting there going, I would actually use a lot of these gadgets. Except maybe not the bike. There's one gadget, I'll talk about this because it was funny, and I'm like, there's a design flaw. And that was a kit where you can convert your bicycle. Basically, you take off the wheels and you put on these skis, and there you go. Only problem is there's no brake from what I saw. Now, maybe there was and they just didn't show it, but yeah. I'm sitting there going, there's something like how you're going towards a tree, you can't quite steer. Do you bail and wreck your bike, or how does that work? But anyways, it was great, done really well. Some of those gadgets, I'm like, they need to think this through. And other ones, I was just like, oh, I want to have that gadget. Some of them I'll just mention quickly here that I enjoyed. Like I mentioned before, Mock the Week, 8 out of 10 Cats, which it was more of a year-end clip show thing, but it's still brilliant. And actually, they did more of an American thing where they, 2 weeks before Christmas, had done their year-end thing, which is great. Big Fat Quiz of the Year and the Big Fat Anniversary Quiz of the Year were great. Richard Iowati was on the Big Fat Quiz of the Year, and then Noel Fielding, who I will talk about later, was on the anniversary show with Russell Brand, blanked on his name there, and that was funny as well because it's just like Russell Brand just had this really weirdness to him, and it's like I started to wonder, is he on drugs? Like there's something off with him, and it's not great. The other shows, was there anything else? There's nothing. Oh, 8 out of 10 Cats does Countdown. I loved that. They had some great comedians on there, and just it was loads of fun. Now the next show I'm going to talk about, actually you can start watching here in America as well, because it was just announced that it was on Sundance Channel. But I have a gripe with this, because yes, it is a 6-part mini-series, but they did leave room to expand on it. They can do a series 2, but here in America, they're only playing these 6 episodes, and they're not playing the Danny Boyle full length or like an hour-long or hour-and-a-half long movie, which was basically a movie that goes before it. And I feel like they're missing a lot of stuff by not including it. And so Babylon Series 1 is just great. If I haven't mentioned this before, I love this show. It's really done. It was done really well. They use the CCTV cameras, and just cameras you wouldn't traditionally think to use a television show, so wonderfully throughout the whole series. And since it will be aired in America, I'm going to stay a little bit more away, from spoilers. And I might talk about this more on what we're watching weekly, or not what we're watching weekly, what else is on. What we're watching weekly is the old show that we did. If Corey starts watching this, which I hope he does, because this is a wonderful show. Episode, I think it was episode 4 or 5. I'm just like jaw drop, shock. But it's brilliant. It gets this in-depth view of police force, and it touches on a lot of stuff that happened that is touched on today. Even when I was watching this, I'm like, wow, they predicted the future there. They're talking about some relevant stuff. And it's really great. And also, if you liked Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., or you like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s new series, Hunter, he's on there. The boss who was on Peep Show is on as well. There's a lot of people you see in Britain. Britt Matlin, I think is her name, who's from America. She's on there as well as the PR representative, and it's just really well done. I love this, and I do hope there is a series 2 that comes out. Now, the next one that does have a series 2, and I talked about this on the backdoor pilot when I was like, oh, this is untitled, and I couldn't come up with the name. I didn't come up with the name until like this weekend. And that is, or for the show, I should say, that is Noel Fielding's luxury comedy series 2, Tales from Painted Hawaii. Really long title, but for short, you could just say Tales from Painted Hawaii. And this show, right here, Noel Fielding, is like night and day in ways from the old show, because really the old show was more sketch comedy, similar to a Kroll show, or what have you, with that, like Kroll show or Portlandia in a way. This one is more of a sitcom, but I use sitcom in the broad sense of it, not, oh hey, laugh track. No, it's because it was self-aware throughout the whole thing. Again, Richard Iowati is in here, but he's updated from a recurring player to like series regular. I feel like I'm talking about SNL here now, but I'm not. And Richard Iowati was just really great. He plays numerous characters. A lot of them play numerous characters. And it's one of those things like when you watch this, you're like, wait, is that the dude who plays Andy Warhol? Wow, that is. Or I blank on his name every time. I think it's Michael. Michael Fielding, Noel Fielding's brother. He played Yoko Ono in an episode, and I'm just like, it threw me because it was just weird enough to where it worked. But it was funny. I enjoyed this a lot, and seeing all this happen, I was floored about like how much I love this show and want to see more of it, and also was surprised at the fact that it airs at like 1 a.m. over the UK, and I'm like, seems really late. And it's one of these things like I know nothing of how there's like are they late sleepers and then like late to bed or late to rise sort of deal, or what was the whole situation? But still, it's like one of these things where I'm like, this would fit great on Adult Swim. And I hate doing this. I hate saying, oh, like, we're great over in America. But it is one of those points where you do look at the show and you go, oh, well, that would be it'd be great to see them do it here. Another one that I loved, actually, to get back to the Christmas specials, because I just thought of it, and Noel Fielding's on there, so that's why I thought of it, was Never Mind the Buzzcocks. They did a Christmas special, and it was brilliant. I loved this special, because it was the same formula, but they dressed up in costumes, and it's just like, you look at this and you're like, wow, Phil Jupitus and Noel Fielding picking the same thing, but I feel like Phil is copying Noel because it looked like something Noel would normally wear, and it was just brilliant. They had the snowman from the cartoon show on there as in one of the segments, and I'm sitting there going, that threw me. I'm like, wait, why? But with everything, all that talk, it just got me right in the mood for Christmas. I'm like, oh, brilliant. But anyways, back to Noel Fielding's luxury comedy series 2. Very self-aware. Like, it threw me at how self-aware it was. Including, I think, episode 2 or 3, they actually killed off their only fan of the show, and I loved it. I was sitting there going, wow. And then you see they even introduced a multiverse with the episode, I think it was called Reality Man, and I'm like, oh my, and Reality Man was played by Richard Iowati, and I'm just sitting there, I enjoyed this so much. It was like, I feel like I shouldn't have enjoyed it, and I think it was because it took me 2 tries to get into series 1, and I'm like, oh well. And then the second try, I'm like, oh well, this is actually really good. But yeah, so I think that'll about wrap it up here. You can follow us on Twitter at ElseNerds, or you can follow our Facebook page at facebook.elsenerds.com. And also you can follow us on, well, I just said Twitter, and you can watch our other shows. We have the 616 and What Else Is On. 616 is all about comic books, and What Else Is On is all about TV shows and movies here in America, or well, around the world, whatever. We don't discriminate on there, but we mainly focus on American TV because it's what everyone else is watching. Which is weird for a show called What Else Is On. And also we have a sister network. We are partnered up with the Galactic Netcasts, and I'm hearing some big news from them coming up very soon. And so you might want to tune in over there at galacticnetcasts.com, I believe is the website. And I will be here on the next episode of Pod Save the Queen in the future. I haven't quite determined on where I want to where I want to stick this in at. But yeah, you can definitely catch us out next Monday at 9:30 East to 6:30 West for another episode of What Else Is On. I'm Gregor Sprague, and I'll see you later. Bye.